Hey guys, it's Rose with the Enchanted Forest community here in Central Phoenix. I am here today with Luis Ramiro from the Bay Area in California and Jake Angeli, who has a great YouTube channel which we will share with you later. Um, Today what we are doing is we're going to talk about the experiences of those of us that did the Kambo Amazonian tree frog ceremony. Luis came all the way out here for the Mayan fire ceremony and also to do the Kambo ceremony. So Luis, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Kambo ceremony is, and then we can hear from Jake here about his experience.
Well, the Kambo ceremony is a ceremony that is based on this little frog, Amazonian frog that is called the monkey frog. And actually, how it works is we inflict these small burnings on the skin to remove the first layer of the skin, and then it gets administered through the skin and it goes into your body. It gets assimilated and it helps you to purge all of the organs that they need to be purged, all the toxins of the body, and from there you have the experience. But more than that, I think you guys just came from the ceremony, and
Yeah.
this is very fresh. We are in day 3, day of purification, day of the healing round. So we want to start with day 1, and I'd like to know how was your experience, guys.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
Yes.
Day one was good. It was intense, but it was also, compared to day 2 and day 3, it was mild. It was almost like an introduction to the tree frog, and I didn't get to shake hands with it. I just got to say hello. And it was pleasant. There was a lot of warm sensations filling my body. It kind of traveled up my torso and into my head. There was almost like a pulsating in my head that was going along with my heartbeat. And in the process of this warmness moving throughout my body, my lips got a little swollen, and I felt a very profound sense of auric opening, like my energy was being cleansed from the inside out. And that was the first day.
And then I'm actually on day 2, so tomorrow will be my 3rd day. But I'll share yesterday's, which was my day 1. So for me, day 1, it was as Luis was placing the medicine in the first burn, a rush of heat came on to me, pulled down in like the root chakra area, and then it just kind of flushed up. And then he started going on to the second burn and the other ones, and it was pretty intense and pretty quick. I was really surprised how quickly that I felt that rush. And then as it moved up, it was kind of like what Jake here said, and it kind of I got this. It was my body flushed and was really hot, but then it kind of got almost clogged in my ears. Not like they were like, when you go up the hill, up in elevation, and they pop, but it kind of almost like that. It was like this intense pressure, and it just felt like it stopped here. And then I still felt good. I felt, okay. And then it seemed as though as soon as the pressure relieved, and then it went up to my head, all of a sudden the sensation of vomiting, queasiness came on, and then I wanted to vomit and release. And when I did, it really felt good. It just felt like my body was like, oh, okay, I needed to do that. And then it was like I was having these visions too of like little tree frogs here and there, and and that I kept craving water. So in the ceremony, you want to drink at least a gallon of water or so, and I drank 3/4 before, and then I had another 3/4 next to me just in case. And I was craving to just drink more, and I had this vision that said, "Water is life." And then because I had dug a pit in the ground, and that's where I was vomiting. And I had actually envisioned that as a pool of water. And I wanted to be like the frog and just and dive down and like cover my whole body in this water. And yeah, and then as the vomit, I stopped vomiting, which wasn't too much, but it was a bright green color, a yellowish green, and then all of a sudden, like, I just felt intense peace and tranquility. And then throughout the day, I started to just feel blissful, super blissful. And then I got a little tired and I took a nap for the rest of the day. But I had lots of energy and I was feeling super good until I ate, and I think I overdid the eating. You did the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, on my second day, on the second day the first day I got 4. The second day I got 5 of the little burns, and then the venom was placed in the burns. And the moment that all 5 were done, it just hit me like a tank. And immediately I got the warmness in my head, the throbbing came back, and then I could feel the frog's presence in my aura. And my lips got swollen, my eyes got swollen, and I felt like a frog. And it was cool. It was really cool, but at the same time, it was also really intense. And the saying of overcome that which you feel is overcoming you kept coming back and coming back. And this, I felt, helped me to elevate my consciousness over and over again as this mantra was coming through to me. And then I threw up. And after I threw up, I felt like a lot better, a lot better. And the throw up was of a yellow color. It wasn't green, which apparently green means that you got some stuff to detox and get rid of like negative energy and stuff. But yellow means that you're pretty much okay. That you're kind of, am I right?
Well, according with the people that is been like working with medicine more often, some of them they said like colors they are not important, but some of them they said like there is a reading coming from the colors. One of them is the yellow, which is all the bile coming from the liver. So that's what it looks like, yellow, like a little bit like fluorescent yellowish. So when you are literally like squeezing this organ inside, you know, everything is coming out, and everybody like records like a feeling of release, a feeling of peace, because all of that is coming out, all the toxins are coming down. Some people there is like green color is actually connected with the pancreas, and there is many different colors. There is brown and there is more colors, but probably we want to explain that in another video. What is important about this thing and what is very interesting is what they feel when the head is like pounding and the heart is also pounding at the same time. It's like the whole energy is getting reconfigured inside of your body, like helping you energetically to release whatever it needs to release. As most of the people is explaining about the Pamela energy that we release, all of those invisible blockages that we have sometimes, that they're in relation with the chakra, they're in relation with the energy of the body. It gets released and everything gets readjusted inside. So I think that's what you guys were experiencing.
Right. Well, and afterward, I felt like $1,000,000. Seriously, I felt euphoric. I felt elated. I felt lighter, like in my body, like my spirit was cleansed of whatever heaviness of whether it be emotions or negative thought patterns or whatever. It was like a
recalibration.
Yeah. Recalibration of my inner being that manifested not just on a physical level, but on a metaphysical level more so. I mean, the vomiting and the physical experiences were a symptom of the metaphysical experience that I was having.
You know, and back to my first session, and I forgot to say that I felt that pounding, but it was also I could feel like my lips swelling, and then all of a sudden my eyes swelled, and I could feel the swelling where the burns, where the medicine had gone in. And then on day 2, it was a little different experience, and I didn't feel the medicine hitting me right away like I did. It was like Luis was almost done with all placing the venom and all the burns, and then all of a sudden I started to get this rush of heat, but it didn't go down to my root at all. It just kind of flushed me And then the head did pound, but it wasn't as intense. And again, it got clogged in the ears. And it didn't take me as long, or it took me longer to purge. And so for a while I was like, oh, I'm not even going to purge today. And then that kind of released, but I also felt it was strange because I got this sensation in my mouth where it felt like it swelled a little bit, but then it went into my teeth and my jaw. It was like, and yesterday on the first day too, it was, remember I said this part of my jaw was also feeling it. Today, it wasn't just this part. It was, I could actually feel like something was doing surgeries or something on my teeth and like these weird little feelings in there. And then that continued. And then I purged. And today it was actually a foamy white. And then it was a little bit more. Yesterday it was a very little bit amount of vomit. And then, I'm trying to remember what I had said earlier. Otherwise, it was, I kind of just, I didn't get as hot feeling. Oh, I started to shake. Like inside, I felt like my tummy was shaking. And I had thoughts about remember the frog I had said? I felt like maybe the frog, that he was so docile because he felt, because he has the poison in him all the time, whether he's being, poisoned himself or whatever it was. But I had this like thought that like, oh, well, that's why the frog is so docile in the wild. And then again, I wanted to drink water, but it wasn't intense. Like the first day, I drank almost 3/4 of a whole gallon. And today I just drank, I think, maybe a third of that bottle. And then I just felt kind of still a little more queasy. And then even now, it's been a couple hours and my jaw is actually still a little tense. But otherwise, I just feel great. I just feel so good and so alive. And like the sun, you mentioned that earlier, I just want the sun rays all over my face. And I just feel good.
Yeah, it's interesting what you're saying about like you feel the medicine inside of your body, because some people they recall to have the medicine even 2 weeks prior the ceremony, especially when they do the full treatment, which is 3 days. Doing it 3 days consecutive, it enhances the ability for the frog, and also the body is trying to adjust into the venom medicine that is going into your body. Is trying to almost getting in adjustment with everything that is going inside. So probably you want to be feeling that in the rest of the week, and also you want to have like a lot of thoughts. Everything's going to be opening, like maybe you want to be driving and you want to have like these visions and mental ideas that they're circulating, and a lot of um,
Something to add on to what Jake had said, you mentioned the lightness, and like I really do. I feel like I've literally had all kinds of energy and just weight taken off of my shoulders, and my whole spirit, I feel light and lifted and just really clean.
Well, and today was my third day. I did it all 3 days consecutively, and today, it wasn't as intense as the first day. The second day. I'm sorry, but it was intense, and my hands got swollen, and I could, instead of there being like a throbbing in my head, there was more so throbbing in my hands. And what I likened that to was the idea that because today is the healing ceremony, the third one is the healing ceremony, I got the vibration that the throbbing in my hands was the final release of all the negativity. And for those that understand the auric field of the body and stuff and how it circulates through the hands and the feet and the crown of the head, I got the vibration that whatever negativity was in me was being pushed out and into Gaia or into the cosmos to be transmuted and to basically be neutralized. And it's no longer a part of my auric field now. And I feel incredible, totally worth the 10 to 15 minutes of to have
agony.
Yeah, to have the wow afterward.
Yeah,
This wow, oh my God, wow, thank you God. And I did purge on the third day, and my lips were still swollen, but I got The second day I got 5 dots, and today, the third day, I got 8. But interestingly enough, the 8 wasn't as intense as the 5, because yesterday, the second day, I got to shake hands with the frog and really, you know, get to experience what it was like. Whereas today it was like I got to hug the frog, and the frog was hugging me.
Yeah, closure with the frog.
And I got some closure with the frog, and I don't view the venom as venom. It's medicine. And it's medicine not just for the physical body, but it's medicine for the mind, and it's medicine for the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go into that thing of venom, right? Because basically, right, we put all of this toxin into our bodies with the way that we think. You know, like if we move into a little bit into psychosomatics about the thoughts what we generate all of these toxins. We generate the bile, we generate like other symptoms in the body. So all of that venom that we create inside, it gets reverted or converted during this ceremony. That the exterior venom that is coming into the body is turning this venom inside to get released and purchase all of the purge it out. You know, like vomiting.
Sure.
All of this is like releasing everything that is being held inside of our bodies. You know, either we feel like we don't have anything inside, we don't have no toxins going on, but we do, and all of that is like holding this energy to be working freely in our entire our field. So
You
I
know,
think that's the important thing.
and I had a question for you. As you being the spiritual healer and kind of facilitating these ceremonies, is there anything that you experience? Do you ever feel any energies being released from the people? Are you like empathic with it? Do you ever see anything? You know, can you explain that part?
Yeah, it's a small grade of empathy. It's more like we become a little bit more like in that moment, you know, specific moment, in touch with our energy that we can connect into others. So in the moment that you guys are about to vomit, I can start sensing like it's about to come out. It's about to come out, and it's when I get like closer because I can feel like we have this during ceremony. We had this divine contract that we are helping others to go through that moment because it's sometimes we need to be supported in life. Whether we feel it or not, sometimes it's good to have like somebody's energy to hold space for us. So the whole purpose of the ceremony, as the one that is leading the ceremony, is to create the environment to let healing to take over. So basically, that's what I intend to do.
And to add on to that, like I did notice, like in the ceremony, there were, a few of you around sitting in the pit with me, and especially on day one, I didn't feel it so much say on day two, but on day one, I could feel you guys, and I could feel your support. It's like I literally had this connection to your energies, and I could feel, you rooting for me to stay in there and hold tight, and I could feel you, and I could feel Earth and Robbie and everybody that was in the ceremony. I could feel them supporting me, and it really felt good, and I thought, well, I wonder how this would feel if I did it by myself. Would I feel as supported? Would the energies actually lift me up? Because I felt like tapping into your energies helped me go through it. And then even at the end of yesterday, the first day, right when I was coming to and getting ready to wake up, then the doggy came and sat right in my lap. Like the dog was like, okay, it's time. I mean, even the animals, were supporting me. And I really, really, really enjoyed that part of it.
In addition to that, I like to say that actually it's so important to create this space while we are about to start the ceremony to put a prayer into work as part of the whole ritual, because the prayer is what is going to keep this space protected.
For sure.
So once we all get around the fire pit and we grab hands and we invoke all of those energies to come to us and help us in this ceremony to protect the space. So all of that is almost like a seal, like an intention for the whole community that is around us about to partake the ceremony. So that is so important. That is the core of collectively energetic support for everybody. So
if I may, I just want to say one thing. For those people that may be rolling their eyes of, oh, pray, oh, meditate, let me tell you something. You go through something like this, you're going to pray. You're gonna pray. You're gonna pray. You're gonna be like, God, please give me your blessing and watch over me during this experience. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and actually, I was gonna mention that too, because you mentioned that you had a mantra that you kept. What was that mantra?
Overcome that which you feel is overcoming you. Or
See, and I love that because throughout both sessions, I was doing my own mantras. And part of it is, I begin and I pray and I call, to my ancestors and my grandma and grandpas and to any of the energies and supports that are going to help heal and lift me through this. But then throughout the ceremony, I continue to pray and ask for them, strengthen me, lift me up, guide me, hold me, give me your support. But then I kept going with, medicine, do what you will. Medicine, do what you will. And within some, to go a little off a little, but with a lot of things, it depends on what my intention is for a lot of things. And sometimes I go into meditation with, I want an answer for this. I want a healing for this. I want to resolve this. But really, for this, what I really had focused on, because I never messed with and played, utilized this medicine before, so I just, medicine, do as you will, because whatever that medicine felt that my body needed, like the first day it was something different, and then today it focused on my mouth, it seemed. So it was really important that I keep putting that out there, and when I started feeling extra woozy or the burning, I could really feel the burning in my arm, I would just breathe with it, keep breathing, and then I would just, medicine, do as you will, and then pray again. And it really, when I did that, it not only calmed me and soothed me, but it really gave me that extra to just keep going and get through it. I knew that it would end within like 20 or so minutes. I think this one lasts longer for me today too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did. Well, I'd like to go back into the prayer that you're saying, or the meditation, or basically is whatever your intent is for ceremony. I'm not saying that if you think that you're asking for something, don't think that maybe the medicine is gonna give you exactly what you're supposed to get. But your intent, it helps to be like the detonator to activate that to go into your body. So the intent is just basically sending energy into what you are looking for. So medicine, it will do like an invisible agreement that it will give you the necessary things that you need in that moment. And I'm not saying that if you go into that moment that everything is going to be perfect, because it's not. In that moment, it's like you don't know what is going to happen. If you have expectations, this is literally liberating you for feeling like control in your life, because it's like no control is gonna come on and come on and come on until everything is gone. So it's basically it's like surrendering into this moment, surrendering into the medicine, surrendering into this ceremony, surrendering in life for what we are going through, and then knowing that we are always supported and guided into all of these medicine plans or ceremonies that we are doing daily experience life every day. Same thing. It's like we know that we wanted to fulfill something, we put it up there and we keep like our intent going. And the same with the ceremonies, like we do the same. We are praying and we are calling up into all of that to achieve something. So that's the whole intent to go in there.
I love that. And do we have any other final statements?
The idea of surrender is very important when it comes to medicine. The more you fight the medicine, the more the medicine's going to show you who's boss. And that's just the fact of the matter. It doesn't matter if it's the frog medicine, toad medicine, if it's plant medicine. If you fight the medicine, it's going to show you, you can't fight me. And I think the most important thing for people to remember, especially during something like the Kambo ceremony, is peace and stillness through pain and suffering. And if you can come to a place of peace and stillness inside, then you can overcome the suffering in every moment, because the peace will always be stronger because it's of a positive vibration than any sort of suffering which is on a lower physical dimension of vibratory frequency.
I love that.
Something that I wanted to also point out is yesterday was Earth with us, and he was saying that he surrendered himself into the moment that he was in divine gratitude.
Yeah.
And his experience, it was like no vomiting, no suffering, no nothing. It was just gratitude. So again, it's like no fighting. It's more like I'm gonna work with you or work with me, or let's work together, getting an agreement with the medicine and surrendering, and also sending that gratitude for whatever we wanna get, because whatever we wanna get, we don't know what we want to get, but the medicine knows what it's going to give us, either a rough time or a super divine moment.
It's like the mindset that you really have, and really we create our own universe. We create our own miseries and our own hells and our own heavens. And so if our mindset is set on, man, this is going to be awful, you might have a really bad experience. But if you can sit there and just really, go with it and surrender yourself, I think that's just a really beautiful way to put it.
Yes. So
cool.
We wanted to thank everybody that is watching the video, and if you like, you're probably going to subscribe in any of the channels, and I love you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Namaste.
And just to say, if you're interested in events or following the Enchanted Forest community, you can find us on Facebook as the Enchanted Forest community, or on my website, which is freespiritandmind.com, and on there you can find the Earth Guardians, my herbal products, the Enchanted Forest community, and just different events and stuff that are happening there. And then what was the name of your YouTube channel?
Yellowstone Wolf is my YouTube channel. You have to look up the channel, because if you just look up Yellowstone Wolf, then you're going to find a whole bunch of videos about the wolves of Yellowstone. Okay. So you got to go to channel and then, Yellowstone Wolf.
Also, Jake is actually wrote a book already, and he's going to come out with another version, the newest version. Can you explain a little bit
Divine Clockwork?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've written a book called Divine Clockwork, Rewinding God's Watch by Rewiring Human Thought. And it's essentially a cornucopia of spiritual understandings and metaphysical epiphanies that I've had throughout my shamanic journeys, and they condensing and the distilling of them into about 55 pages of high quality words and shall we say messages of divine channeling.
Nice. I'm excited, by the way, to read that.
I can't wait.
Oh, well, listen to it.
Yeah, it is on audio. You can find Divine Clockwork on my YouTube channel. The half of it is read aloud by me, so you don't necessarily have to read it. You can listen to it on audio.
Sweet.
Also, you can actually find me in Facebook. I have a group that is called Moonfire Ceremony, and I also have a Gmail account. It's moonfireceremony123@gmail.com. So you can reach us there.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for being here today.